Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Naomi, and today I have a really sweet foundational core practice for you. So you can think of this as like a little bit of a core 101, right? How to engage your core muscles from a really basic sort of a place. Now, what it's also going to help you do is see some of the poses that you might be familiar with if you've done yoga before, and with a little bit more of that core emphasis. Okay, so just giving you a really nice foundation if you are a beginner, or if you are newer to yoga or movement, or if you're just newer to feeling your core muscles work, right? Because I think we're all really new to that every once in a while in our lives. I know that I have been more than once. So all that said, I have 2 blocks today for this practice. You're going to need at least one of them for when you're on your back, and you will need 2 for when you're standing, unless you have a chair nearby. You could use a chair as well. Okay, so let's get started. Come to lie on your back. Now, I will say the block on your back is really only necessary if you have kind of short arms. You'll see what I mean in just a sec, okay? So lie on your back. Whew. Feet on the floor, feet about hip width apart. Okay, now if you can reach your hands to your thighs, anywhere on your thighs, I want you to push forward. Now, when you push forward, you will feel a couple of things. First, you're going to feel like not so much your entire back flattening to the earth, but what you will probably feel are your abdominal muscles tensing a little bit. That's great. That's what we're after. Okay, that is a really good thing. Okay, now let it go, and you'll immediately sort of, oh, that's a huge, it's kind of a relief actually, because that was a lot of work. Okay, so now if you had trouble getting your hands to your thighs and pushing, this is where you might want to have that block. Right? So you can take the block and push it into your thigh, and it gives you a little extra, right? Even if you were to lift your shin away or foot away from the floor and you push, it's just going to give you a little extra, okay? So what we're going to do is this. Before using the block, before using anything else, all you're going to do is extend your left leg out and let your left leg hover away from the floor a little. Now, the tendency when you do this, particularly if you have any low back sensitivity, is to really arch through your low back. Okay, you don't want to overarch through your low back and take your leg as low as you can, because that's just going to make your low back work a lot and not as much your core. Okay, at the same time, you don't want to over tuck, which will engage your core muscles, but it also creates a lot of tension in your pelvic floor, and that's over time not going to be the best thing for your core, right, for your entire core. So you want somewhere in between. Okay, and I talk a lot more about this alignment in other practices, but for today, I just want you to sort of feel that basic quality. So you're not overarching, not over tucking, somewhere in the middle. I know your leg is still up. You can even bounce it a little, just like bounce. Now just bounce. And then bring your left leg back in and extend your right leg out. And again, it doesn't have to be all the way down to the ground. It doesn't have to be really high up. If you do have more sensitivity in your low back, you can lift it a little higher. If you have less sensitivity, you can keep it lower. And you can do a little bit of that bounce as well here. Just bounce. Now, not a lot is probably happening because this other leg is bent, right? So this other leg, what it's doing is, like, let's say you did extend that out. Oh yeah, now you're probably feeling your core more. Only the thing is that actually asks a lot more of your low back too, which is not a bad thing. But if you want to really specifically target your core, bend your left knee again, put your right leg in, you have to create some tension. So you can place your right hand on your right thigh, up towards your knee if you can, but middle of your thigh is fine, and extend your left leg out. Now this is where I would say if you cannot quite get your hand to your thigh, you can put a block there and push into the block. And then you would take your left leg all the way up and lower it all the way down. All the way up and all the way down. And if you place your hand on your belly, you can feel your muscles working. Just keep taking your left leg up and all the way down. Left leg up and all the way down. Now, if you wanted a little bit more of a challenge, you could lift your right foot away from the floor a few inches, or even just be up on your toes instead of on the flat of your foot. Lift your left leg up. I know we're still doing that. All the way down. Keep pressing your hand into your thigh or the block. Left leg up, all the way down. A few more times. At your own pace. Left leg up, all the way down. Woo, left leg up, all the way down. Keep pressing your hand into the block or your thigh. And then put your left foot down, flat on the ground. And you're going to switch sides. So again, you can use the block or your hand. Push your left hand into your left thigh. Extend your right leg out. and then lift your right leg up and lower down. Now the key here is to really push your hand into your thigh. Right? That creates really good tension for your core muscles. So it just reminds them to work for you. Now, if you were to let go and lift your leg up and down, your core muscles are still working, right? They're still doing exactly what they were before. Just that extra resistance, pushing your hand into your thigh, because you're using your shoulder and creating that pressure from hand or from shoulder down to hand, that's going to activate more top to bottom. If you want to just charge it up a little, you can come up onto the toes of your left foot or even lift your left foot away from the floor and still lift right leg up and down. Oh, I know, fun stuff. Yeah. Okay, one more time, up and down. And then put your right foot down, left foot down if it's lifted. Give them a little shake. And then roll over to your side. And push yourself up to stand. So everything that we're going to do today is hands-free in that you're not bearing weight in your arms. Now, if you do have wrist sensitivity, again, using that block or even using a fist against your thigh on the ground is going to be a little bit nicer on your hand and your wrist than pushing really hard. But this is a hands-free core practice, and I really like to do those because not everybody likes to do planks forever, so, there's that. All right, so now let's feel neutral pelvis a little bit more. And I didn't give it a name when we were on the ground, but it's the idea of not overarching, not over tucking. Okay, so let's say you're in a lunge. So take your left leg back, bend your left knee a little bit. Okay, now this is not the most comfortable lunge to be in, I know. But what we tend to do, and I'll just show you, we tend to arch in a big way, right, toward your front leg. So what I want you to do is move the top of your pelvis back, bottom of your pelvis down. Okay, now when you do that, you should feel your core muscles engage. Okay, you should feel a lot more slide in place. You also feel your left leg might be a little bit on fire. Yay! Okay? But that neutral pelvis is what's just going to help keep your entire core from pelvic floor up through your diaphragm, right, working really well for you. Okay? So, step left foot forward, step your right leg back so you can just feel it. And just notice in a normal lunge, whether your hands are on the ground or your hands are on your thighs, the tendency is to tilt forward. Neutral pelvis, it's a lot easier to do if your back knee is bent to start, right? Getting the top of your pelvis back, bottom of your pelvis down, that just connects you more to your core, so more of your power is centralized. And then this lunge isn't so crazy, right? Your front leg isn't doing all of the work, your back leg is getting a lot more action, and your core is helping to support you. Okay, step right leg up. Now, you're going to grab your blocks. Place them on their highest level. Okay, now this is where you could use a chair. Alternatively, if you have a chair and not two blocks, you could use a chair, you could use your couch, you could use a low table. But stand on your right leg, place your hands on the blocks, and lift your left leg up. Okay, now you do want your weight to be on the blocks or on the chair. Okay, you don't want to feel like you're doing all the balancing with your right leg. That's why you're using blocks instead of doing this like with your arms away from the ground, which we will do at the very end. Okay, but for now, I want you to tuck your left knee in towards your chest and then re-extend. Tuck your left knee in towards your chest, re-extend. Now this is one of those places, keep going, tuck your knee into your chest, re-extend, tuck your knee into your chest, re-extend. Tuck your knee into your chest, re-extend, tuck your knee into your chest, re-extend. Last time, tuck your knee into your chest, re-extend, and then push down through your right leg. See if you can take your right arm up either alongside your ear or alongside your body, and then lift your left arm up. Okay? And then place your hands back down, left leg back down. You probably felt your core working along with your hamstrings and your glutes because they're a part of it. Now what I was going to say is this is one of those where you can actually really feel neutral pelvis working. Okay, so stand on your left leg, right leg up. And the tendency is to lift that leg really high and bend the knee so your foot comes up, and that makes you lose a lot of neutral pelvis. Okay, so extend straight out through your right leg. Try to move the top of your pelvis up, bottom of your pelvis back through your heel. And then you'll feel your core muscles wake up a little more. Tuck your right knee in towards your chest, re-extend. Tuck your right knee in towards your chest, re-extend. Tuck your right knee in towards your chest, re-extend. Tuck your knee in towards your chest, re-extend. A few more times. Tuck your knee into your chest, re-extend. Tuck your knee in towards your chest, re-extend. Tuck your knee in towards your chest, re-extend. Tuck your knee in towards your chest, re-extend. Last one. Tuck your knee into your chest. Re-extend your right leg. And again, find that neutral pelvis again. So top of your pelvis up. Bottom of your pelvis reach towards your heel. Take your left arm straight up alongside your ear or alongside your body. Alongside your ear is going to be a lot more challenging, so alongside your body is going to be easier. And see if you can take your right arm up too by lifting up into your core muscles. And place your hands back down, right leg back down. Give it a little shake, okay? Now we're going to put those two together. Okay, so you're going to come from this pose and step back into that high lunge with the neutral pelvis and try to use neutral pelvis to guide you. So stand on your right leg, left leg goes up. Draw your left knee in toward your chest and then step left leg back, okay? And you can lift your arms up or just bring your palms to your chest, but see if you can find neutral pelvis here. Tap your left knee down, lift your left knee up, shift forward, hands to the block. Okay, and then repeat it. Tuck your left knee into your chest, step it back, right? You can reach your arms up, palms at your chest, hands at your hips, tap your knee down, lift it up, and then shift forward again, hands to blocks. You're only going to do one more. Tuck your left knee into your chest, step it back into that high lunge version of Warrior One. Arm position of your choice. Tap your left knee down, lift it up, and now this time instead of reaching for the blocks, shift forward, Warrior Three, and try to lift up from your core muscles, not just your right leg. Okay, place your hands down, left leg down, second side. Stand on your left leg, lift your right leg up. Tuck your right knee in, and then from here, step it all the way back, okay, into that high lunge version of Warrior One. So arm position of your choice. Okay, now tap your right knee down, keeping neutral pelvis, lift it up, and then push forward, hands to the blocks, Warrior Three. Draw your right knee to your chest, step it all the way back, high lunge version of Warrior One. Tap your right knee down, lift it up, push forward. Okay, last time, tuck your right knee into your chest, step it all the way back, high lunge version of Warrior One. So your core is working the whole way. Tap your knee down, lift it up, and then, instead of reaching for the blocks, shift forward, Warrior Three. Take a full breath in here, full breath out, and then come up to stand and shake it out, because that was a lot of work. I definitely felt it in my core. Did you? I know that it's a little bit subtle because we want those those crunches where you really feel like you're doing it. But what I really love is that subtle work where you feel that deep, strong action in your belly and you know that you're doing solid work, because core strength is not just about creating a 6-pack or a 10-pack or a 2-pack or whatever kind of pack you want to create. It's about creating stability in your body so that balancing poses feel more possible, right? So that you feel more powerful and more capable in your own stance, right? That you can hold yourself up with authority. That's what working your core is for. So I hope that you started feeling that in some of these poses today. So thanks for hanging out with me and my core and my blocks. It was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it too. Let me know what you thought of this practice in the comments below. And as always, I hope to see you again really soon. It's a privilege to be here with you. So let's do this again sometime. All right? Until then, bye.